Good evening, everyone. I'm Rick Walker with Maverick News and Maverick Multimedia. You're watching Freedom Convoy 2022, Cruising to the Capital, live coverage from Ottawa and other points across Canada. And I'm here with my co-host.
Hey, it's Brenden Kennedy, the host of the Flow Discourse podcast. Good to be back. How are you today, Rick?
I'm hanging in there. And a lot of people are hanging in there. It looks like the protest in Ottawa has survived another day, and we are heading into another night. And what is happening in Ottawa tonight is it's the government versus the people. And both sides are digging in and preparing for battle because the government is preparing to attack. They've militarized their police services and they're preparing to move in and they're setting up, getting ready. They're bringing in probably thousands of police officers at this point. I think somewhere around another 1,500 is what we're hearing.
Yes.
We may not know exactly how many because they may not reveal the true numbers. But make no mistake, they are bussing in or bringing in huge numbers of police officers tonight and assembling them in preparation for what could be mass arrests. And we'll have live footage from Ottawa, commentary, interviews, and Carla Olson is back on the scene. She has been our eyes and ears down there throughout this protest, and she is back on the ground tonight in Ottawa, where the protesters have issued something of an SOS. They're calling for all hands on deck. They're asking anyone who can get to Ottawa, they want them to go to Ottawa because they feel there is strength and safety in numbers. And we've heard them say that they will remain peaceful no matter what.
And that's, of course, the goal. We are seeing quite a bit here, a lot like a Gandhi revolution. It seems to be their main aim. Where it will go at this point, not sure. They're putting up the heat quite a bit. It's going to be a matter of time to see. Lots of different updates coming across the board through the night, including some surprises even. I'm not sure how far you want to delve into those surprises yet, Rick Walker, but we'll have to. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure which surprises you're referring to, so I suppose.
Well, we got some intersquabbling in the Liberal Party.
Oh, yes. Well, I think, I think really what we should probably try to do is give people a little bit of a sense of what's going on there in Ottawa, first of all.
Yes.
So why don't you, and I should also say that we're getting word that the blockade at the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor has reformed, and I don't have the most up-to-date information, but apparently we've got some log jams there too. So yes. What do you have, Brenden?
I do have footage. I did pop it into our private chat. It was live from 48 minutes ago.
Okay.
So that info is there from our person on the street there. So it's a matter of pulling that up.
I will grab that.
They were there quite late last night at the Ambassador Bridge. I would say probably between 11 o'clock and midnight that they were there before the police got rid of them. And then they came back again. It seems to be the same people there that are doing that again. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We're really putting the pressure on the government to end all mandates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's see. I don't think that's the right footage. Hang on just a second. We have a lot of clips queued up here, so I just need to pick the right one. This one's new, going into the system. Here we go.
I guess about time I give an update. There's a lot up there. I sit in the gap for when I sleep. Oh, barbecue.
So this was about half an
Anyways,
hour
big
ago
crowd down there.
at the
Jam
Ambassador
packed.
Bridge in Windsor.
Nothing is coming into Canada. I want to give a shout out to this lady right there at the cooler, passing around sandwiches. Very nice. Lots of people bringing food. My sister-in-law, she brought some fruits and cookies and that for all the drivers or anybody down here, actually. Shout out to Piccolo's too, sending 50 bowls of pasta. I didn't get any, but I don't even know where it showed up at, but I didn't see it. But they donated it. That's all that matters. The generosity. Everything's still peaceful, quiet, good. Party's down there. I'm old, so I'm over here. Everything's still the same. Fox 2, Detroit, flying around most of the day. Keep the prayers of support coming. Oh, look at that blue healer. Yeah, squirrel. Anyways, I'm waiting for my coffee. And I'll give an update later on. Talk to you later.
So yeah, that was about a half an hour ago. Here on Church Road, Ambassador Bridge, Windsor Detroit border. And yesterday there was a blockade, remained up for I don't know exactly how long, about 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3-4 hours.
I think it was longer than that. I think it
Was
was
it?
like 6 hours at
6
least.
hours?
Yeah, I think it was 6 hours at least. And the common trend or the common theme with just about all of this is the sense of community. Like he was talking about the lady bringing sandwiches or restaurants donating spaghetti, that sort of thing. This is something that is deep in the community, and it gives you a sense kind of how much people want their freedom back.
So about 6 hours yesterday, then they reopened overnight, and then today they shut the border down again in support of everything going on in Ottawa and in Coutts, Alberta, at the Canada-U.S. border there. And we've seen other activities in other major centers across Canada. The entire thing continues to spread. And maybe that's what Justin Trudeau just doesn't understand, is he can try to rule with an iron fist, and he can attack these protesters, and he can unleash his bought and paid for media shills and thrust a propaganda campaign upon the Canadian people and lie about everything that's been going on down there and try to tell people that they're dangerous terrorists when everyone has seen clearly that that is not the case at all. It's just the opposite. They're patriots. They love their country, and they're yearning for freedom. So he can do all of those things, and he can bring in hundreds or thousands of police officers and start rounding up Canadians and taking them off to processing centers that they have set up there, if that's what he wants to do. But tonight, Canadians are showing that they're not really asking Justin Trudeau anymore. The people of Canada are not asking for their freedom back. They're telling you. They're sending you a message, Mr. Trudeau. The time has come. So, for the sake of Canada, and frankly, for your own sake, you should do the right thing. Come out, talk to these people, and find a peaceful, reasonable resolution to this standoff, which is completely unnecessary, that you, Mr. Trudeau, could end right now. You could end this tonight, just like that, just by being a real leader. And when I say do it for your own sake, I'm making a prediction here tonight. Not only will these mandates all end, Justin Trudeau is going to lose his position as Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party. The cracks are already beginning to show. He's toast. His political career is pretty much over because he has been acting like a damn tyrant, a dictator. You can try to act like that, and you can try to rule that way if you want. You can do an end run around the Charter of Rights and Freedoms if you want, but it's not going to hold, because this is not some banana republic. This is Canada. And the people here are kind and generous and tolerant. And they've been tolerating you, Mr. Trudeau, for the past 2 damn years, putting up with you and your shenanigans and your stupid socks and your blow-dried hair and your selfies and your blackface and all the other BS that you've thrust upon people. And most of all, what they've been putting up with, and some people have been buying into, but they're beginning to wake up to it, is your hate. Your damn hate. The divisive language that you've been spewing, the way you've been demonizing a certain segment of the population. It's un-Canadian. It's not right. You've been acting like a monster. A damn monster, a dictator. Maybe that's the way your daddy raised you. Maybe that's the way you learned from your mom, who was in pretty tight with Mr. Castro from Cuba. Maybe those are the lessons you learned. But this is Canada. It's not Cuba, and it's not a communist country. You can try to reshape it if you want. You can try to turn it into the communist utopia that you have in your little head. But the Canadian people are not putting up with you and your stupidity anymore. Enough is enough is enough is enough. Go ahead. Bring on your goons. Bring on your personal little army that you've put together with the mayor of Ottawa and the police chief of Ottawa. Go ahead. All 3 of you. You're all goons. You're all goons. Bring it on. Because you know what? The harder you squeeze, the more everything just slips through your fingers. The people down there are peace-loving Canadians, hardworking Canadians. They're not terrorists. They're not going to get violent. They haven't been violent. You guys are the ones who've been violent and aggressive. You've been going down there, taking their fuel, smearing them with lies, calling them terrorists, insurrectionists, trying to create this narrative that they're just like the January 6th insurrectionists in the United States, saying that they're the ones spewing the hate. When we all know, and you've had it on full display, that is coming right from your pie hole, Mr. Trudeau. We're tired of it. Canadians are tired of it. They're tired of you, and they're tired of your hate. They're tired of your divisive rhetoric and all your BS. So pull up your fancy little socks there and be the damn leader that people hired you to be. Get your ass down there and talk to these people and end this thing peacefully and call off your goons. Stand down. There's no need for this. You keep this up, somebody is going to get seriously hurt or killed or worse. And when that happens, it's on you, the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and your goons. Goons. That's what you're doing tonight. You're acting like a dictator. Call them off. Call off your dogs. Call them off. That's my message to you. Do the Canadian thing. These people have told you they'll just sit there passively. Go ahead, round them up. It's just going to come back and bite you because you know why? It's the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong thing. Call them off.
Even his party knows he's doing the wrong thing.
That's right. The cracks are beginning to show. This is going to cost you everything, pal. Everything. People don't want this. Canadians don't want this. Canada deserves better. They deserve better than this. They deserve better than you. And Canadians are not going to stand for it. They're just not going to stand for it. It's been a damn love fest down there. You've seen it. Everyone has seen it. We've been running the raw video all week long. Bouncy castles for kids, singing, dancing, hugging.
Church.
People shoveling the sidewalks. And what do? You send in your goons. You're preventing people from bringing them food, preventing people from bringing them water through new court orders that are probably, I'm certain actually, that they're unlawful because you're the one breaking the law. The mayor of Ottawa is the one breaking the law. The police chief is breaking the law, treating these people like they're subhuman. There are kids down there, man, and you're arresting people who are bringing them food. You're arresting people who are bringing them fuel to keep their trucks warm so they don't freeze to death at night. You're trying to starve them out and freeze them out. Call off your goons. Do the right thing. Come down there, talk to the people, and restore freedom. That's what the people want. And it's happening anyway, you idiot. It's happening anyway. The premiers are pulling back. They're canceling these mandates at the provincial level, and you should do the same damn thing at the federal level. It's happening anyway. Be a man for once. Be a good Canadian. Be kind. Wake up.
He does have a lot of responsibility and burden to bear, and he knew exactly what he was signing up for when he became Prime Minister. And I really wish that this could be kind of over by now, and it could have been over by now. You know, I think even with a successful negotiation, he'd be able to create a roadmap to reopen with clear guidelines on what to do. I know that's not what they want, but I bet you the organizers would even settle for that.
You know, it never should have got to this point anyway, Brenden. It never should have gotten to this point.
I know that, and you know that, but now we're here.
We're not, you know what? I don't think we're going to settle for anything. We're not going to settle it for anything other than restoration of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, restoration of freedom, period. Get rid of these damn stupid mandates that don't work anyway, have done nothing to prevent the spread of anything, and have actually made things worse because they've destroyed businesses, destroyed lives, divided the country, divided families, ripped people apart. No, I don't think the people are going to settle for anything less than what exactly they've been demanding. And more than that, you know, they went down there and they said they want you to resign or end the mandates. And I think they're going to get both. I think you're toast, Mr. Trudeau, and I think they're going to end the mandates as well. Your days are numbered because the people are tired of this. Damn tired. We deserve better. Canadians deserve better.
We've deserved better for a long time.
And like I say, I don't think people are asking anymore. I think they're just at the point now where This is basically people telling the politicians and the bureaucrats it's over. Now it might take a little bit of time to exert this, but one way or another, they're going to have to listen. Look what's happening in Windsor tonight. The Ambassador Bridge shut down again. The Ambassador Bridge shut down again. The
Blue Water Bridge.
Yep.
Shut down on Saturday or Sunday, excuse me.
So you clean it up in Ottawa, it just pops up someplace else. It's already popping up in other places. The Alberta border, they've been trying to clear that out. They can't even get tow truck operators to go down there because they know better. They know that in this case, for this protest, the right thing to do is hands off, stand down. This is a war. The government has gone to war against its own people. And the people don't have the guns. The government does. The people threw a freedom festival in Ottawa. They brought some trucks. They brought some bouncy castles, some barbecues. They had some speeches. They sang some songs. They sang the national anthem. And the government sent in their goons. So far, it's been peaceful, and the cops that have been down there for the most part have been pretty good. But, they've started to arrest people for things like, honking their horns, bringing food to people.
Carrying jerry cans.
Yeah, bringing water to people. They've gone around and they just started to confiscate private property from people, confiscate trucks, confiscate fuel, just steal it unlawfully. They don't care. Law doesn't matter. They'll just make up the law as they go along. Charter of Rights and Freedoms means nothing to them. That's what they did.
We're just following orders.
Yeah, and that's my message to some of these cops too. I'll tell you something. All right? I think we've been more than charitable with police.
Yeah.
In our comments. And
we love the police for the most part.
Not so much anymore, Brenden, and that's my point. I always loved the cops. Always got along great with every police service I ever had any interaction with. Always. And always saw the police as trustworthy, great public servants, people you could turn to when you needed help, or if anybody needed help, it was the police that would come to help people. For the first time ever, over the past 2 years, honestly, I'm afraid of the cops. I'm afraid. And all you police officers out there, you keep hearing people say, you took an oath. To all the police chiefs out there who've been flying your little drones around, spying and surveilling Canadians.
And you've seen that on 2 occasions, I believe, at two protests.
Yes. Think about it. Think about what you're doing. What are you doing? Public trust in police has been damaged. Public trust in all of our public institutions has been damaged through this. A lot of people just don't trust you anymore. Even as a kid in school, I remember teachers talking about, just a little kid, about how we would, when new Canadians would come to the country, we talked about how sometimes it took a little time for them to build trust in police officers. We had, police officers would come. When I was in grade 1 and 2, we had, police officer would visit the school, and he would talk to the kids. He talked to us kids.
Yeah.
And we had some children there that were new Canadians, and they were a little bit afraid because the countries they came from, they couldn't trust the police officers because they were corrupt, sometimes violent. Well, I never thought I'd see the day where I was afraid of police. I never thought I'd see the day where good, peace-loving, hardworking Canadians exercising the right to free speech and exercising the right to peaceful protest, lawful protest, had to be afraid that cops were going to sweep in on them by the hundreds or thousands and corral them, kettle them, push them into a corner, like animals, round them up, and ship them off to a processing center.
They make it sound so cute, eh?
Well, you know, we've seen other governments through history round people up, ship them off to processing centers, camps. We've seen other governments throughout history use propaganda and lies to gin up stories about their political enemies and then thrust these people into court and conduct show trials so that you can then take your political enemies and put them in jail for crimes that you've made up for long, long periods of time. We know what you're doing. We know. It's sinister. It's evil.
So it's safe to say that you think at this point that anybody who gets arrested down in Ottawa will be held without bail, or bail set at such an astronomical price that they won't be able to get out anyway?
No, they'll follow certain procedures, but you see, Brenden, they have new hate crime legislation on the books. They've just been itching to use. They have new laws that they've been just waiting to test and try. And these laws are designed, honestly, let's be honest, they're designed so that they can use them against their political enemies. And this is the perfect opportunity. And this is where it's going. And that's why you're getting the narrative, the carefully crafted language, the use of specific terms like insurrection, terrorist. You arrest somebody, you charge them with crimes with those things in mind, and the penalties are extremely severe. So these people have been down there protesting. If they're labeled terrorists or insurrectionists, makes them enemies of the state.
And that's been the narrative for so long now. I mean, like, you look at the guy who got ran over in Winnipeg, it's still it's all crickets there. Not a single statement's been made about it. They're only charging him with hit and run. It's the same story over and over again. You know, typically when there's a pattern, it means there's something wrong, something going on.
Well, we know there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong.
It smells like shit, and it looks like shit. It's got to be shit.
There's a lot wrong. What I'd like to do actually here now, if Brenden, is bring up a little video from Carla. She's been down there shooting video all day, and maybe we can just give people a sense of what's still going on down there so that you don't take my word for it. Let's find out from Carla what exactly is happening in Ottawa tonight. I'll just queue up some video here. It'll take me just a moment.
And we should be joined by Carla pretty soon, which I'm told she'll be joining us from the streets of Ottawa this evening.
Oh, a drama teacher again.
King David. So
Not even Trump time.
see how people respond. It's kind of a moving song all the time. So let's see how it goes.
So they've been playing music down there all day.
Maybe close your chat box there.
These are the people police are going to come and arrest.
I have never been more afraid in my entire life.
The strong, she needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. What beauty in her eyes, oh her eyes. She tried to her kitchen chair. She broke your phone and she cut your hair. And from the lips she drew the hallelujah.
So apparently this is a major problem for Justin Trudeau. He's got a big problem with these folks. The mayor of Ottawa hates this, despises it. These are the violent, racist protesters that they need to shut down. So they've called in cops from all over Ontario to arrest them. And the cops are waiting in the wings, and we'll see what happens. That's where we're at tonight.
And I mean, to look at the bright side, at Coutts, Alberta, they're still holding strong. So, I mean, they haven't been able to dislodge that. In fact, it kept growing and growing. So, but I think in Ottawa, there's more pressure from the mayor and from the police chief. And when they're going to apply that pressure like they have been, it's going to lead to some irresponsible action. So I don't know where that's going to go, but it's...
Here's some, I'm going to call up some other footage here, Brenden. This is from John Nisbet. And it's very, very recent footage from the scene tonight. So this is Mackenzie and Rideau Street area. People carrying around jerry cans. I think a lot of them are empty, if not all of them, to confuse cops who have been ordered to confiscate fuel going to the truckers.
What I can tell you is when I was down here last time in Ottawa, there was not this many trucks at this particular area.
Somebody even got a U-Haul.
These are the people who deliver everything you have from your food to your television set, your dog food to your diapers. These are the guys who bring it all. And they have become the frontline soldiers.
Looks like we found where they're organizing their fuel up here. I don't see any cops stealing gas, which is great. Gotta keep the trucks fueled.
And
Yeah, I did hear something about fuel was returned to the truckers. Not surprised. What they did was illegal. That's a big banner. Holy smokes. Looks like they're doing some interviews up here or something.
It's amazing. I'm 63 and I've been around. I see since 63. I can tell you another way.
You know what's become very addicting for me anyway is watching these live streams. Just to make sure all is good in the hood. I mean, just look at that scene, guys. Look at all those truckers there. Okay, I'm off to the next location. I'll be back online.
And there you have it.
So, not so big and scary about the stealing of fuel now, are they? There's
So
four
the
cop cars.
those truckers held the line, man. They did.
There's 4 cop cars standing there. Like, they got to be watching all of it.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What was that?
I said there's 4 cop cars standing there or
Mhm.
sitting there. Like, they have to be watching all of it.
Oh,
In fact, I would
sure.
wager they're watching every movement.
Of course they are. I don't doubt that they're monitoring what we're saying right now. So I'm just waiting for the knock at my door. I laugh, but they're probably coming for you too, pal. And maybe
That's
some
okay.
of and maybe a lot of the people watching.
That's okay.
Yep. You know, a lot of other developments today. I mean, that's what's going on in Ottawa. We're seeing what's going on at the Ambassador Bridge. We saw that our Pastor Arthur Pavlovsky was arrested again, as even before he was going to go to the protest in Coutts, Alberta, and they arrested him before he could leave. In sort of like a preemptive strike, a pre-crime arrest.
He's,
You know?
and he, how many times has he been arrested now? Like 10?
I've lost count. They just love to arrest him. They, throughout this whole thing, the government has infected people's minds with so much hate that they've, they have people cheerleading some people cheerleading as they attack Christians and churches. And it continues even today with the arrest of Pastor Archer. Here we go again.
And with his circumstance, like we had seen, the court had ordered him, he can't talk about COVID without giving some sort of mandated, compelled speech line, which I couldn't repeat it for the life of me right now, but it's something along the lines of, like, I'm not a doctor and to follow the advice of public health officials and blah, blah, blah. And that was mandated by the courts, that he has, every time he speaks about anything like that he has to state that.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you say, we're deep into commie land.
Well,
the government tells you what to say, or they can.
That's where we're at, man. The government is embracing something that can only be described as a form of fascistic communism. That's what it is. And Justin Trudeau just does not want to let go of that bone. He's had a taste of ultimate power, and he really seems to like it. He really, really does. I think a lot of these politicians have been enjoying this bizarre period in our history. Now, as all this is unfolding, we have this, basically an SOS coming from protesters at the scene. And I'm going to let this roll. This is from the Raging Dissident. And he's a YouTuber, also a Canadian veteran. And he's down there. And he is joining the chorus of people calling, among the protesters down there, asking for people to come to Ottawa tonight.
I know. But regardless, we're gonna have to work through it. It is what it is. In all seriousness, thanks so much to all the guys and all the people showing up, coming up from Toronto, the GTA, BGB, Full Draw, all you guys. Thank you guys so much for making the commitment and making the effort. Everybody out there, we need everybody. This is it, guys. This is for all the marbles. This is for everything. You understand? Do you understand what's going on? Negotiations are tomorrow. It could go well. It could not go well. There's a lot of ways this could go. Not all of them good. We've been suffering this and dealing with this for 2 years now, and people are finally standing up, and we're under threat of they may just mass arrest everybody. The government wants this to end. They're unilaterally denouncing us and calling us terrorists and all these kinds of things. They're bussing in truckloads of cops, man. They're setting up. If you can get here. If you're waffling, you're not sure, you want to go, you're not sure, you need to get here. You need to be here right now, because this is it. This is it right now. This is happening all over the country. You got all the guys in Coots, Alberta. You guys, legends, beauties, hang in there. There's guys that they're blockading ports, the Windsor Bridge, all over the country. This is it. It's not just a line in the song. In all thy son's command. It's time to go, guys. If you can get here, get here. We could use your help, and we'd love to have you. Please get out there. Please do what you can to support what's going on, support the cause, support the movement, and enough is enough. And for all of you guys that have made the effort, that you've shown up and you've been here, you are here, you're living in your cars downtown. I can't say enough, and I don't want to run this video too long. I'll have more to say, at a later time on the podcast, or another video, another time, whatever. But just please know that my heart goes out to all of you guys, and I wouldn't trade this for the world. this has been a life-changing experience. And for all you guys that are you're curious, you kind of want to go, you're missing out. You're missing out on a beautiful thing. This is the real Canada finally coming back to life, and we're making a stand here, and it's a beautiful thing. So please, please get out here and be a part of it. And when the dust is all settled, when this is all finally over, where were you and what did you do when the country stood up to face a reckless, out of control government that doesn't care about its people? What were you doing? Were you down here? Were you down here in the streets with the people? Were you supporting people? Were you making your voice heard, or were you at home on the couch?
Amazing.
Good
All thy
question.
son's command. He's absolutely right.
It's a good question. What are you prepared to do?
I know now is not the time to lay down, and it's the time to speak out. Tell the truth.
Truth is in short supply these days.
Well, not on this show, it's not.
And that's why we're here. We're trying to do our part by making sure the message that gets out is clear and accurate. And with that, Carla joins us from the
Hello.
streets of Ottawa.
Just walking the streets, boys, here in Ottawa tonight. I'm so excited to be back.
Good to have you back.
Well, we're worried because of all the things we're hearing, but so far it seems like everything is still pretty much on an even keel.
Yeah, like I was pretty impressed when I got here. First of all, there's a lot more people for a Tuesday. I think it's partly because of the cry for help from the truckers. So everybody knows about what happened, with the fuel and all of those things. Everybody knows what happened with GoFundMe. So nothing has really happened since then. There's just been a lot of chatter on Facebook about thousands of RCMP coming and the threat of being arrested. And they're threatening to arrest people who are bringing fuel to the truckers. Now, keep in mind, they did take their surplus, so they're still doing okay for fuel. Another change is the truckers have made an agreement with the city that they're not going to honk their horns for 10 days. So you're not going to hear any horns honking, although they are revving their engines and singing pretty loud. So
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Some residents down there are, they have to endure the noise and the inconvenience, but that's the way it is, man. It's not like they're in a completely residential area. They're at Parliament Hill. They're in the downtown, in the nation's capital. That's where this stuff goes down. So if you live down there, from time to time, you have to deal with a protest or two. That's the way it is.
that's kind of how I see it. Like you're living in the capital city. Of course, there's going to be protests, right? So I don't think that anyone who moved to Ottawa thought that the protests would ever accelerate to this level. But I don't think anyone who lives in Canada thought we were going to be in a draconian society either. So.
And you couldn't ask for a better protest if there was going to be a protest, because this thing has been more like a festival.
It is a festival. I mean, the level of humanity is so high. The generosity, people giving up food, man, they're cooking gourmet food. I mean, pretty upscale food. They're cooking in the streets. This one place cooking pork with some kind of a cream sauce and mashed potatoes. That's the level of food they're feeding people. You feel like you're actually at a festival and that you're going to a restaurant. It's amazing.
Yeah. Are people worried, though? Or is there a little bit of fear or concern about what these cops are going to do?
You know, I've been talking to people, and that's not been the tone. They all know that it's been on Facebook. Lots of little rumors, like there were some people commenting on Pat King's show, saying that they were putting in the comments, oh, they're taking away the barbecues, they're tearing down the tents. They're not doing that. Wrong. Pat King was on his way to come check it out. It's wrong. There was none of that. I went and spoke to them. The people that have the tents and the barbecues, they're still cooking. they're still having their tents and barbecues. I mean, no, everyone is a little bit on high alert, not knowing what's going to happen at night, because that seems to be that's when they did the fuel, right? But I'm not seeing the influx of police yet. In fact, I see less than I saw on the weekend because there's less people.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so what was going on down there today? I saw that there were people singing, is it just more of the same?
Yeah, like speeches, a little bit of dance party here and there. They still have like along Wellington and Bank, and then all the way up to like Metcalfe, where that kind of center square is. You're still walking along and finding things like, remember the bouncing castles?
Yeah.
Well, they're gone because they cost $2,500. They were pretty expensive to rent, right?
Yeah.
But now what they did, it was so cool. They set up a table and they put different like cookies and some treats on the table, and they put some activities for kids, and they put a sign on it saying conversation spot. And I asked the girl who set it up why, like, I thought it was great, but why? And she said, because we haven't been allowed to gather at a table in 2 years, so people can gather here. And I thought, that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
So there's just little neat things, right?
So are there many families and kids down there?
Still kids, still families. I met a beautiful family today, actually. It was, I can't remember where they're from, but this family has 4 or 5 daughters, and all of them have been either expelled or suspended from school over mask mandates recently. And so these girls, each one of them had their own sign, and it had a different saying, and they came and told me all about it. They were lovely. So
yeah.
I've heard that in my own community where little girls, like at school, like my friend's granddaughters, took their mask off in the playground, and they got into a lot of trouble, quote unquote, and she was crying when she came home to her grandfather, and was like, oh, I was in so much trouble today for taking off my mask because me and my friends wanted to play and see each other's faces again. And it's like, what in the hell is wrong with these sick people?
Oh yeah, like, and that's what you're seeing is like all these families. A lot of these kids have been suspended over masks, so they're able to come here, or they've maybe chosen to homeschool. So you're still seeing a lot of kids. I'm gonna flip my camera because I'm across the corner, so you guys can not look at me, but see what's really happening. Whoops! Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry guys. Hang on.
We've gone dark.
Well, it's because I'm technologically challenged. This is no secret. I've been honest. I'm going to pop out and start over again, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Sorry, guys. It's the only way I know how.
That's fine.
Not a problem, yeah.
Okay.
So Carla will be back in just one moment. So all peaceful there right now. I guess we'll have to see what happens overnight.
Is it the quiet before the storm, or is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's the question. Is this the calm before the storm?
Mic, camera. I'm trying to figure out how to flip my camera. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do.
Maybe you could just turn the camera around.
Oh yeah, that's what I did last time. Thank you, Rick. See, you're the pro, not me. I'm just
He's the guy with all
time.
the ideas.
I'm the guy with all the low-tech solutions.
I'm just the person who, I'm just having a good time bringing everybody on walks with me. I am definitely not a pro. Okay, so I'm going to flip you around. How's that?
That is perfect. That's good. That's excellent. Oh, somebody there. Better tackle that person. Get him down on the ground and cuff him.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. So
aiding and abetting.
We're seeing a lot of this, okay? People carrying empty jerry cans because they've said to bring an empty jerry can. And so there's a sign up on one of the fences up near the square that instructs people that if you're carrying your empty jerry can and the police approach you and want to search your can, to not allow them to and to call a lawyer. And they've got the lawyer's number. So this is like an unspoken protest within our protest, right?
Sounds like something you could make a sexual assault case out of. We want to search your can. Oh, gee, no. I'm not showing you that.
Yeah. I've been saying I love your purse, but like I think it's great. We're seeing more of these than we are flags actually right now.
You know, a lot of this stuff. Are those police officers?
Yeah, some police officers and
Well,
some.
tell them I said hi, and I'm sorry I called them goons earlier.
Did he have a jerry can?
No, I thought he did though. It was like a lunch bag.
Okay.
Somehow I have the feeling that these images, these jerry cans, trucks, all of this stuff, that just the images somehow are going to find their way into Canadian. What's the word I'm looking for?
History
and culture. You know, it's they'll end up being a symbol of Canadianism.
The jerry can.
I can see that now. The Canadian history of freedom.
Oh yeah.
Documenting the.
People be waving jerry cans on Canada Day.
Yeah, like the Canadian, like a Canada Goose or a beaver, right?
Yeah.
Maple syrup and jerry cans.
Yeah, so they still have this fire going. I don't think they're complaining about this one because it's it's well contained, and this has been a popular spot for people to hang out. Also, you see that they're cooking over here, cooking dinner.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did see footage the other day of them.
This is a hot spot. Actually, a lot of people gather here.
So yeah, they were putting fires out the other night. We saw police using snow to put out fires in barrels.
Yeah, so they're not. I mean, look how many police have walked by. Oh, those are volunteers, but how many police just walked by? Here's some more jerry cans.
Yeah.
I love your purse, man. Yeah. Get it, guys. I had one guy. I said, "I love your purse." He goes, "It's a satchel."
A man purse.
Yeah, Merce.
Can you just pan upward a little bit so we can see more? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you got to help me because I'm kind of blind here.
Yeah. So what's going on over there?
I don't know. Let's go take a walk. This is what we do. I just walk around and find things. That's what I do. Trades and construction for freedom.
So Carla's down there. Where exactly are you right now, Carla? And just pan up again so we can. Yes, less sidewalk, more people.
Yeah, I'm 2 blocks from Bank Street on Wellington, heading towards Metcalfe. I don't know the name of the intersection. That's why.
Yeah, just pan up a little bit more. We're just there. That's a little bit better.
There we go.
Here, I'm just gonna lift this up a little better. Then I won't be screwing up so much. How's that, guys?
Not bad. That's pretty good. Yep.
Now just hold it straight. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Still pan up a little bit. Up. There. That's better.
Oh, you don't want people's chests? You want to see their faces?
Yeah,
so
a little less sidewalk. Yeah.
So look at the signs. Like every single day I come up here, there's more and more signs. New signs. I'm always finding new ones. I think what happens is protesters come, and then when they leave, they just leave their sign.
That's amazing.
Right? I did find 2 counter-protester signs, but then I found them once, and then I walked past 2 more times, and I think I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of signs. I haven't seen it again.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I love it. I think these should stay forever.
Mass psychosis media. I love that. That's great.
Yeah. I noticed that the tone has changed. I'm not seeing as many F Trudeaus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as much as this movement has been signified by the whole F Trudeau thing, it is vulgar, and it does paint things in kind of a negative light. But, I mean, this is a guy who was complicit in locking people down in their homes for over 2 years, stripping away people's charter rights, and the whole 9 yards. So, what the hell was he expecting?
Well, I mean, I know. This is probably my favorite wall, this one. I don't know if it's the big love you that I'm into, but... Oh, this one's good. Yeah, yet you called me a fringe sexist, racist, supremacist, majority, minority, sweetie. WTF. A couple of flags. Can you see those?
No.
You know,
Yeah.
this is the thing too, Carla. Like, you're showing people what is really down there. Well, the media keeps telling everyone that there are racist symbols down there.
There's none. I mean,
Yeah.
unless Justin Trudeau thinks that his citizens telling him to go F himself is racist. I mean, that's hardly racist. Disrespectful, rude, maybe a bit vulgar. Yes. Racist? No. He needs a dictionary.
And there isn't anything in the charter that says you can't be rude.
No.
Just
Look
because
at these jerry cans, guys. Can you see these?
Holy guacamole.
I'm going to go touch them with my toe and see if they're empty, okay? Yeah, they are. So this is symbolism, right? Right here.
Yes. Yep.
So quiet up here, right? Without the horns honking.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
I don't know why this car is still here. I think the guy's been staying in the car. He's a really cool little Rasta guy. He dances to Bob Marley like no other. But his car's been parked here for several days.
Just pan up a little bit. Up. There
Yep.
we go.
Yeah, he
Thanks.
just parked there and just stayed there. I don't know. It's his home. Pretty good crowd over here. This is where the good food is over there.
And pan up, 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 up a little bit, up a little bit.
How tall do you think I am, Rick?
Oh, no, you maybe got to angle the camera a little different. I'm not sure.
Here, let me see if I can
Yeah,
do
just
that.
angle
There
it
you
up.
go. Yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
You know what the problem was? It was in my bag. I think it flipped. How's that? Buddy? Is that
That's
good?
way better. Yep, that's way
Well,
better.
that was the problem. I had a technical issue. See, I need you guys.
Well, we
guys
need
here with
you.
me.
And yeah, people love you.
Like, look
tell
at
you that.
this. Look at this. Like, this is a restaurant, truly, for free. For free. They're giving it in love. They were peeling potatoes on potatoes today.
We haven't heard any of that from the media. None of that.
Oh, no. Of course you're not. And then this, you see that black, it's an ice fishing hut, right? So they've got that set up as a warming center. And they said it's like a sauna. Like going in there, it's just like being in a sauna. So, and I was saying, they were telling me to have some food. I said, I got to go back and warm up. And they're like, no, get in the tent, man. That's what it's there for. Like, how awesome. Little fire.
So let's see if we can dispel some myths here.
Okay.
Last night at the emergency debate in our parliament, for you Americans out there, that is like our Capitol building, they were having debates and speeches about what we should do about this. Now, there were some liberal MPs who were saying, we have employees in our offices who are Muslim or what have you, and they're too afraid to go out on the street and to come into work, and that they called in sick.
I have seen, I can't confirm or deny that, but what I can tell you is that I have 100% seen federal employees coming out of the House of Commons, out of different federal buildings. You can identify them by their tags. I don't know if I've seen a reduction, though. Like, I can't confirm or deny that, right? Because I don't know what I would expect to see.
Well, they usually have parliament offices like around Ottawa, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So
there's an awful lot of office people wearing like lanyards walking around and masks. So I'm pretty sure, coming from that area, I'm pretty sure that's where they're from.
Is it so dangerous there that they would prevent them from going to work?
Yeah. See, the police are just talking to these guys about their fire. Looks pretty reasonable here. Oh, maybe it's the fire department.
I don't think that's true. That 50%.
I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. That's another Pat King thing.
So, yeah, I think what happens is sometimes the viewers on Pat King get a little worked up, and you know how you know the old saying, like, if you tell something too many times, right? If you tell it, the story changes. because
Yeah.
there were all like in that blackout. I don't know where that came from. Did the government? Because I haven't I've been on the road mostly, right? The last bit. Did the government threaten to take down cell towers or cell connection or?
No.
Okay, because
Well-
that's a big one that they're
What
coming
what
around.
happens?
I'm gonna go
what
up
ha-
on the hill and see what's up there. I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, you see what happened. So when there was the G7 summit in Toronto in 2007, they shut off all the cell towers before the police, quote unquote, kettled people into a corner and then tear gassed them and where they couldn't escape. So it's a typical tactic in, if you want to call it warfare or
Right.
police fare, or maybe Rick has a better word than that, but what they do is first is they cut off communication so that people can't warn each other what's happening. And
Right. Well, it must be a powerful thought or concern because I do know the organizers did put out a message on Facebook, or I guess it was on YouTube, saying, listen, if we lose power, like if we go into a blackout, then if you're not seeing lives, you're not able to speak to people, just get here because that means we need more presence. So I think their thought is, go in a blackout, probably going to arrest people if all these police come. Look at these beer tins, guys. They don't have gas in them. This is another counter, or this is a little silent protest.
no CBs don't work off of cell towers, but they do.
They
sell,
can jam radio signals as well. And the point is, that's sort of a standard procedure. If you're moving in a militaristic fashion and you're concerned about terrorism and you have a large group of people, then you're going to affect mass arrests. Then you don't want your enemy to be able to communicate. So you want to take out their communications abilities so
Right.
that they can't effectively mobilize against your forces. So
Yeah.
that's where this is coming from. And it is very likely to happen if police really do go in there and
Yeah.
start to affect mass arrests.
Well, so what we want to kind of put out there and what the talk has been, those of us that are doing lots of lives and really trying to find out what's going on to get the truth out, go ahead and record it on your phone because they can't, and then just upload it later.
Yes. And then the next step for them to take in their information war would be to try to find some way to confiscate phones and prevent a lot of that footage, if not all of it, from getting out, which is the
Right.
kind of thing that happens in a communist or a country run by a dictator or a fascistic country. So,
Certainly does sound like fascism to me. I could smell it.
and that's one of the other reasons they don't want that they will black things out is because they want to control the flow of information to the public as well.
Well, and I mean, that's been a main tactic for almost 3 years now. So,
Yes.
so I've had a lot of people messaging me on Facebook Messenger going, Carla, Rogers is out. Do you still have power? I'm like, well, I'm still doing lives. And I said, I'm with Fido, and Fido and Rogers are like sister companies. So anytime Rogers has an outage, we always go out. So I'm pretty sure that is possibly a myth.
Yeah. It could also be if there's a cell issue. So, I mean, I've seen cell issues in the past year in different communities in Ontario.
Wasn't there something, I don't know, a few months ago when a bunch of the different companies all went out at the same time for several hours?
Yes.
I felt like the conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat wearing person that I am, thought, this is a test. They want to see how fast they can shut us down. And here we are today.
Yeah, I've seen TELUS go down.
But there was
Well,
one where like it
8
was
months
Bell,
ago.
it was Bell, it was Rogers, it was TELUS, they were all down.
Yeah, I saw TELUS go down about 8 months ago, so I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, I
with
want to show
that.
you guys this. So isn't this the grave of the unknown soldier over here?
That's a Rick Walker question.
I can't see it. Can you pan up a bit? And we're going to have to get a little closer.
Yeah.
I think that's where you are. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
you know the whole scandal about that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And
The
just
level is the girl.
Just tilt your camera up a little more. There we go.
Yep. The girl was dancing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. So anytime they have said something that we've done that's been hateful, we go and we kill them with kindness. Look at this. So they've come and left flowers out of respect at the site.
Yep.
Those are new.
And look at that. They fenced the whole thing down.
Yeah. But look at that. Look how we responded. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I think that's the tone, right? With the
Yes.
protesters versus the police. It's the whole theme, the whole tone is remain respectful and actually kill them with kindness. Because they're going to look foolish if they're arresting us and we're doing nothing and we're being kind.
They look foolish right now. They've been looking foolish. And, you know, the only people who aren't seeing that are the ones who only watch the legacy media. CTV, CBC, Global.
Well, we need the people in the back of the room to see it, those people.
Yeah.
Like they're telling everyone, you know, listen, if the police come to you, they want to see your ID, give them your ID, they want to arrest you, put your hands behind your back. We've got lawyers on it. They'll arrest you and release you in 4 hours. So,
Yeah, Jumanji, one woman walked up the steps, turned, and yelled freedom. That's what happened. The video is out there, and even police put the video provided by the Sun newspaper out for the public to see because they want to hunt her down. She stood on this, she walked up the steps, turned, rocked back and forth while she yelled out the word freedom.
on
That's
the
what
grave
happened.
of the unknown soldier. So could that not have been seen as thankfulness?
It didn't look to me like it was disrespectful or that there was any malice in her gestures at all. And if yelling freedom is an act of desecration, then I think we've got a big problem in this country.
Well, come on.
Okay.
This city gets visitors to this hill all the time. You mean to tell me they don't walk up those steps and get a closer look? So simply standing up there is enough to, you know?
Like
I don't get it.
like everything, man. And here we go again. We're letting them control the narrative, but they've just been distorting and exaggerating and frankly outright lying to people.
Yeah.
Lying.
And that's what we saw at the emergency session in Parliament last night, is the word swastikas, as in
Okay, that.
multiple swastikas, was spouted by every Liberal member the entire night. It was 6 hours of questions and speeches, and the word swastikas implying more than one, or implying that everybody had one. Like, according to these morons, it was a giant Nazi rally, which makes no sense to begin with. But that is how much of a lie it is, and they know it's a lie, and that's why their party is doing interfighting, because they know it's not the truth. They know what they're doing is not the truth.
Yeah, well, there's got to be some integrity in there, right?
Somewhere.
They can't all. Hello.
There's some Nazis right there waving those Canadian flags, those
They sure
racist
are.
Canadian flags.
And look at the French Nazis over here.
Yep.
The pseudo-Nazis.
I mean, look, this is just raw live footage from the scene, and if this is a big racist fest, then show me the swastikas now. Show me,
Guys,
right?
I have been here since the beginning. I've not seen a Confederate flag. I've not seen a Nazi flag, and I have been walking and scanning the crowd, looking for anything that's interesting or different. Do you not think that I would have seen those flags? I would have noticed them.
And you know
we
what?
would have seen them right now. You showed us all those signs that people made. If it was if it was the way they're trying to portray it, you would have seen it right there because people would have been making those signs and hanging them up, and that's right. Like it's just not there. It's not there.
They're just not there.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, but God bless True North News in Canada, because they are the only media that has asked the legitimate question of who is the swastika flag man? Who is he?
Yeah.
And if you know the answer to that, you could be the winner of $6,500. $6,500 could be yours.
Because they know it's not going to cost them a dime because there isn't one.
Yeah, well, there was that guy in that photo, and it's pretty clear that that was like a literal false flag event. And I want to know who that guy is too, because I'm certain that if we find out who that guy is, he's not a trucker. He's not a farmer. I think we know exactly where that guy's going to end up. Like we're on the political scale.
And truly, I mean, that is an act of racism. If we are looking, if they've got the police searching for the girl who stood on the grave of the unknown soldier, more jerry cans, and stood there and yelled freedom. We have to find her. We have to arrest her. Why are we not looking aggressively for the person with the Nazi flag?
Exactly.
And you want to know why? You want to know why?
Because he belongs to the government. That's why.
Yeah, he's a government paid shill. It'll be like if they ever do find him, it'll be like an episode of Scooby-Doo where they unmask him and it's like, who is this bandit? Take off his mask.
I wish we could do that.
And then they would be like, it's Gerald Butts.
No, not only that, we have video. I have a clip queued up, and if we have time, I'll try to play it tonight, of a guy. I think he was a trucker, but certainly a protester.
Look at this. That's dedication. Can you see that mohawk?
Oh my.
Oh me. Yes.
That's a patriot right there.
But we have a guy saying that there was a federal agent down there in disguise, undercover, trying to convince people to storm the Parliament buildings yesterday. Ooh. And they all told him to get lost.
Good.
I'll see if we can play that clip later.
I mean, and that doesn't surprise me, right? Because guys, we know it's been expected. The police were telling me that Antifa is going to be here, that there's going to be plans.
Yes. Of course.
Actually, the word they used were plants, which to me tells me they're paid. Mm-hmm. With your tax dollars, my tax dollars, every Canadian citizen's tax dollars. Money, money, money. We have lots of it, right?
Right.
And folks, this is not a new tactic garnered by the Canadian government. They have pretty much orchestrated entire terror attacks and then arrested people with it. Just like they do in Michigan and in Washington, D.C., these are common police tactics that they use where they set things up or they are a pivotal instrument in setting up crimes, and then they swoop in and make their budget worth it. It's happened before, and it'll happen again.
The problem, Claire, with Antifa is that even though their name says they're anti-fascist, they are the fascists. They're violent. They beat people in the streets. They attack people. They use fascistic, violent tactics to target their political opponents. They are the fascists.
And you know what? It's only conservative opponents. You never see them around when there's liberal or Democrat governments.
If they were truly anti-fascist, I wouldn't have an issue. But they are the fascists. Antifa is just a name. And they've cloaked themselves in this doublespeak. It's like an Orwellian fascistic organization where they're twisting words and definitions. That's the problem.
Well, I've never heard of that happening with our government before. That's new.
Oh, they do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well, it's very encouraging to see that, everybody is still down there and everything is peaceful and the truckers have held the line, in spite of everything that's gone on. How many trucks are still down there? Does it still look like it's about the same?
They say that no trucks have left. So, yeah, it's about the same. I think what they do is they move around a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at that. The cops are looking for something to do.
And you notice there's not that many.
Well, there's a gaggle there.
What does that mean, guys? A21 police. What is that?
A21. I don't know.
Could be. I'm not sure. Ask him.
See, this I don't appreciate. That guy yelling shameful at them.
Yeah, that's not classy.
Because that one person is sending a message to the police that we are, in fact, getting angry. Right?
Yeah. It's just not worth it.
No.
It's just not worth it. If the police are going to break the law on their part and wrongfully arrest you or anything like that, they're just going to do it. So you better just keep your mouth shut. Let them take you. Let them take you, because at that point, there's nothing you could do to save your skin, and you get a lawyer. Like, it's not that complicated. And you don't want to aggravate them even more, because they can hurt you. They have hurt people, and you don't want to end up like that.
Well, and something that that people need to realize, like, this whole thing is about humanity and trying to understand where people are coming from. Okay, so what do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, roughly 12 police, right? Between all the cops that are here. Possibly one of them actually agrees with what they're asking him to do. Probably the rest of them were coerced into the mandates. They don't necessarily agree, but they need to pay their bills. You know, we can't make that decision for them. We can't make them stand up, and definitely doing that isn't going to make them stand up. They're going to stay on their. They're going to jump to the other side, right?
Yeah, especially if people are being like really rude or whatever. What was interesting is I seen at the Coutts Alberta border, there was 2 RCMP officers who went into kind of the bar that they get together in, or the little restaurant thing that they get together in, and the police are saying, "Oh, you need to clear out of here, and you need to do it by this time, or we're gonna have to come in and under force." And the truckers said, "You don't have to do this. You could come and be on our side." And the cop just looked like he was gonna cry.
Because he probably internally is on their side. Because I can relate this to the nurses. Like I said, there were 400 standing, 18 stood to the end. Well, out of the others, the ones that didn't stand, they regret it. They feel bad. They feel guilty. They're beating themselves up. You know? They don't know how these guys are feeling.
And, you know, for anybody out there who's quiet on this stuff or what have you, you have to remember, at the end of the day, can you live with yourself? I couldn't live with myself.
Yeah, it's tough.
To remain quiet?
No.
Well, that's why, you know, some of my comments earlier about police, I said, you know, for the first time ever in my life, I'm actually afraid of police.
Yeah, same.
And, you know, I think that's a shame. And public trust in policing has been, in our police services, has been severely damaged.
A little more food. People are signing flags. They're, you know, it's like graduating from grade 12 and getting your yearbook signed, guys. I've seen 4. Remember, so I came across, there was a van down by where the hockey game is at on the weekends, and it's covered in signatures and messages from a Sharpie, right? The guy's sitting in his van giving out a Sharpie in his white van and letting people just graffiti all over it. I've seen 4 vehicles like that, 4 different ones.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
It's kind of fun to walk between the trucks, guys. I like this.
Yes.
Because when would you actually be brave enough? I wouldn't normally.
Well, I think what you're doing is pretty brave, and it's very excellent that you want to come out and speak the truth. Well,
all I have to say is, guys, I'm only walking tonight because I'm with you. If anything happens and I get arrested, call Big Law 226.
Gotcha.
Don't worry, we'll come and we'll bail you out.
All right.
And Canada says, if you idiots want to protest, why don't you ever protest in your own backyard? Actually,
this is our backyard.
This is our backyard, and we're having it in backyards all over the country now.
I feel like it's bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying, guys? That there's more jerry cans than there are Canadian flags now. So this is the new silent protest. I'm gonna walk you down Metcalfe. As we get down a few blocks, there's a whole other little fun party section. Hi there. How am I doing, Rick, with the camera?
Excellent.
It's a struggle. I'm not lying.
It's
No,
very
it-
professional, actually.
Oh, well. Maybe one day I'll learn a thing or two and be good at it.
Do you think we're winning? I mean,
I do think we're winning. I feel it in my spirit. They've been announcing it on the speeches have been very encouraging. The organizers, when they come out and do a speech and they're like, guys, we've already won. Just hold the line. And I believe that.
it's
What else
certainly
are they going to do? What can happen? How can this end? Justin Trudeau is losing the respect from some of his own members of the Liberal Party. The Conservatives are finally standing up. This is going on worldwide. Mexico started a convoy today, and they're flying Canadian flags.
That's
And even-
hilarious. That's hilarious because
Yeah.
at the Hong Kong protests in 2020 and in Cuba, they were flying American flags as a symbol of freedom. Does that
Yeah.
mean Canada is now the symbol of freedom for the world? Like, that's incredible.
The world is watching us. My husband keeps saying that Canada is officially the world leader.
And actually, Canada, my house is protest central, baby. Protest central.
You betcha. Oh, yeah.
Now, Rick Walker, you asked, are we winning? So I would like to sum this up like a hockey game,
Sure.
right? So right now we're in the second period. All right, it started with Saskatchewan vowing to drop their mandates, which they did. Alberta is now dropping their mandates. We eliminated the Quebec vax tax. The Conservative Party of Canada is now on Team Freedom. We got intersquabbling and public announcements made by Liberal members of Parliament saying that they don't agree with the party's current line that they're towing. So that means there's inter-party fighting. It's not looking good for them. PEI is dropping their mandates. So that's 6 points.
Did you get O'Toole?
Oh, yeah, we got rid of O'Toole.
Oh,
I did
yeah,
make-
that was a win.
Oh, that's 7 points. And you know what? They stole some gas. So what? It's 7-1 in the second period.
Yeah. And it looks like I predicted this earlier tonight. I think not only will the mandates be dropped, I think that the truckers will get Justin Trudeau into checkmate, and we're going to take the king. We're going to take out Justin himself because I think his political career is on running on fumes. He's running on borrowed time now. He's toast.
You gave me a history moment today that got me thinking when you said about the election of Bob Rae.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Bob Rae only ran for like 6 months or something.
Oh, no, that was Joe Clark.
Joe Clark, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe
Well,
Clark-
very, very short time. But
Yeah, wasn't he interim or something?
No, he formed a minority government and then tried to pass a budget. It's it's really not that relevant to this actually.
But what is
I
relevant?
was talking about how people on the left tend to eat their own, and that's what happened to Bob Rae. He got elected premier, NDP, and it was actually the unions that got him elected that actually ended up opposing him because he couldn't give them or wouldn't give them everything that they wanted when the public servants,
Yeah, he was prime minister for less than a year, and we only just had an election like 6 months ago. So, I mean, in the world of possibilities, if
could happen.
if he could be prime minister for less than a year, then it very well could be. We could we could end up with a new election like just around the corner.
I think you've seen cracks in the support within his own party start to form already, and I think that his own party might end up taking him out, and he might step down because of them. I think he's losing the support even within his own party. But he's clearly wants to rule with an iron fist.
Yes.
He's turned Ontario's police services into his own little private army, so he can he can whip out his soldiers and act like a big man.
Yeah.
And this could go really bad for him because
It's already
If-
going bad for him.
Well,
I mean, the world
I'm,
leaders are-
I'm going to tell you, because if they can't revolt against them and get him out of the party, certain members could end up leaving the party, and he could lose the government just like that.
Well, something I think is going to happen, and I think that he's on shaky ground now. These truckers have had more of an impact than the media would have you believe, and I think he's afraid. He has good reason to be afraid of them, not because they're violent, but because they're effective politically.
Yeah.
I just want to put a shout out to this Tim Hortons. It's at the corner of Slater and Metcalf. This Tim Hortons has allowed us in here without a mask. They've allowed us to sit down and eat without showing our papers, and they're letting us use the bathroom. This Tim Hortons is the one, I think they either tweeted or it was in a newspaper article. They said that they've made more money than ever in the history of the restaurant over this, because since the Convoy came. And they said that the people are so respectful that they're actually mopping the floors for them and tipping them so well.
Unbelievable.
That can't be mainstream, but the
Yeah.
guy is so grateful that owns this Tim Hortons. He said it is, I'm so happy. And then obviously then don't ever ask for a passport again. And that's big. Like, this is a corporation, guys. Like, he's really putting his neck out on the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're franchised. Like, you would wonder if there wouldn't be a little pushback from the franchise.
This very well could be, because well, usually with things like that, they're not even negotiable. They'll just say, well, you need to comply with what we're telling you to. And if he goes, well, no, I'm not going to do that, they could just pull the franchise just like that. And they won't sell him Tim Hortons coffee or donuts or anything like that.
This little place too, this Shawarma Express, packed house all the time. There's no QR code. They serve us no masks, and they're nice they're so kind to us. Pretty good shawarma too.
Well, it's only a matter of time everywhere. Other provinces have announced, the masks are going to be gone soon.
Yeah,
within weeks. So this is all falling apart on Justin.
Yeah.
Which is another reason that it makes no sense for him to take a heavy hand here. It's ending anyway. It's over, pal. Why do you have to do this? Why don't you just say, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think he's getting a lot of resistance from his own party, obviously from the people of the Convoy. And I would think at this point, the citizens of Ottawa that might be liberal, that might have not wanted us here, are probably a little ticked off that he's not speaking, that he's not kicking us out, right? That he's not taking action. Like, both sides of this are upset that he's not taking action. Hiding is never the answer for any leader. My goodness.
No.
I've never seen such disgusting leadership.
Yeah, me either. He's the worst prime minister ever.
In the history of the world.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, short of Hitler and Stalin and Pol Pot and some of these other.
They were intelligent, though.
Right.
They didn't hide. They at least let their agenda be known. They didn't hide.
Oh, they had quite a bit of agendas, believe me. There's a lot of manipulation.
But I mean, they would talk to the people. They would speak. They didn't go into hiding when they were questioned.
No,
would just look at what I just did. I just compared our prime minister of Canada.
Yeah.
What's supposed to be a free and democratic society. I'm comparing him to these monsters because his approach is so similar. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's where we've come. That's where he has taken us. And that's because he's been spewing hate.
Yeah, he absolutely has been.
And the mayor of Ottawa, shameful. A disgrace.
He's an absolute disgrace. And this isn't new for him, according to the residents here. So.
If he gets reelected, I just. And the police chief?
Same.
No excuse.
No,
This is a disaster already.
I
Hello?
see a lot of comments from Texas there. Like, would they be able to take us in as refugees?
Oh, please take me.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Texas is awesome. I love Texas.
I evacuated there once. They evacuate there all the time in from New Orleans, when we go on hurricanes.
Hurricanes, yeah.
We started to call it that, hurricane. It's the only way my kids would put up with it.
Yeah, it's just that's what Maxime Bernier said when he was on a few nights ago with us live. He said it's only a matter of weeks, and it seems like he was right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is unfolding that way, and hopefully it accelerates. We need to get these mandates gone. We need freedom restored. We need Canada back.
Absolutely.
We need to be able to live our lives without the government. Like, nobody needs this.
No.
Mass arrest imminent is a question mark, and we do know that police are moving to bring in large numbers of reinforcements. They're trucking them in, and
That's the word on the street. So they're not here yet.
Yeah, and we've heard our government leaders, our politicians talking about specific numbers like 1,500 in that range of additional officers. They have the resources. They've been getting the funding, getting the backups. We know this is happening. And they absolutely have the processing centers set up for mass arrests. So yes, it is a fact. It is true. It is happening, and people need to be aware.
It's a matter of when. And you know what? If they screw up with the mass arrest, the score will be 8-1. Because that's not going to be a good public image for them. The RCMP, their public image has been taken a gut kicking for like the past 20 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that if they're going to do these arrests, even with their 1,500 extra officers, they better do it through the week, not the weekend, because we would still outnumber them.
Oh, yes. I think that's really the plan if they can. They want to get this done before Friday.
Well, I'm here till Sunday, so we'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah. And, my concern is that there are kids down there, and I just hope that the cops don't start using tear gas or doing anything stupid like that, especially with kids around, man.
Yeah. I mean, they've been carrying tear gas around since we came, right?
Have they? I haven't really noticed.
Oh, yeah. They've got it down there.
Yeah, they've had riot gear on.
Yep.
So I'm just going to take you down Bank Street. I found a little section down here when I got here. The guy that gave me a ride from Strathroy Baxter, well, his name's Mike, but I call him by his last name. He's my new best friend. I met him last week. Anyway, so he's been really hanging with these truckers down here, showing them lots of love and volunteering and helping them out. I had breakfast down here this morning. It was great.
National Dunes Party.
You noticing the lack of trash in the street still, guys?
Yeah, they're still picking up the garbage.
I picked up 4 masks, though, on the sidewalk today.
The hypocrisy of the Liberals never ceases to astound me. They go, oh, we need a clean earth, and we can't have garbage and everything there, and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, the comment was pretty big. All these mask mandates, all it did is create massive amounts of garbage. I think I see them just about everywhere I go.
Yeah, are they recyclable? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And they have quite a bit of plastic on them, so they'll sit in a landfill forever. I mean, I'm not some sort of environmentalist by a long shot or by any means, but I also don't throw garbage around because it's just not the right thing to do.
Right. See, look at this place. It's so cool. This is where I had breakfast this morning. Oh, they took their sign. Oh no, the sign's still there. I want you guys to see this. They actually advertised their breakfast. It's not there, but they'd say breakfast, lunch, and supper, and then it had the time, like a legit food board.
That's amazing.
Yeah, these people are great. Like, it's just, there's just these amazing little pockets everywhere. There's my bestie. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Like, there's just little pockets, and the organizers were really talking about encouraging people to go to a table for Adopt a Trucker. And basically what that means is if you live close to the Ottawa area, within 20 minutes or so, adopt a trucker, let him come to your house and have a shower, feed him a home-cooked meal, him or her, and volunteer to be the people picking up the garbage, the people, salting the sidewalks when it snows, shoveling when it snows, running the gas and the diesel.
That's right. Miracles do happen, and this has been a miracle. When all of this started, I don't think I believed it was going to go this well.
Oh,
Well, I was wondering if they had the resources and the depth and the stamina to last very long, and we've seen that they do. And more than that, we're seeing that all Canadians seem to across the country, as we see these other protests forming in Windsor, where the border is blocked again, Sarnia Bluewater Bridge, out in Alberta, and in other locations as well. In other towns where they organize these impromptu convoys where they just drive through town sometimes for a few hours.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this street. But like all the side streets have these cool little, pockets. One thing I'm noticing as I walk, there's a few restaurants that have opened that were not open before. So I think what's happening is the people are starting to realize, hey, wait, you know what? These people aren't terrorists. They're not going to rob us blind. What they're going to do is put money in our pockets.
Right. That's exactly right.
And they're not discriminating. They're not asking for the QR code. This is key. Seriously, guys, massive non-compliance is another way out of this. If it's all about solidarity. That's why this is working for the truckers.
Well, I think that massive convoy with flags a-waving all across the country, that is what woke this beast up.
I wonder if that bard let me have a beer. I doubt it. It's just a thought.
Take us for a beer.
You guys want to go for a beer? Who's buying? I vote Rick.
Okay.
Okay.
Rick was famous. Rick's famous, so he's got to buy the beer.
Okay, it's on me.
Okay. Thank God. Because I'm broke, spending all my money on hotels, wandering the streets of Ottawa. This goes on much longer. I'll be sleeping in my car, guys.
But
I'll stay. I will stay. No, I'm not going to sleep in my car.
She's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm not. Not a lot scares me at this point. Yeah. The scariest thing I ever went through was losing my career as a nurse. Something that I loved. Hi, girl. Gotta give the hugs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was losing my career as a nurse. That was the scariest thing. I don't think much else could scare me. I mean, arrest me. I'm okay. I'll wear it as a badge of honor. If they can arrest me for doing what I'm doing, walking around, showing the love to the rest of the world or whoever's watching, and if that's a crime, arrest me.
You're gonna be just fine. I believe in you.
I'm not worried.
I've already told you the lowdown.
Yeah.
You know how to handle it yourself.
Oh yeah, I'll just not be an observer. I certainly won't be mouthy. So I think that, I mean, I could go a few streets, you know, like where I'm facing there. I think down there I found a cool little section the other night too. But
Okay. What's the weather like? Is it very cold?
it's mild. It's actually mild. I don't know the temperature, but I know I'm not freezing. Now this afternoon I got cold, but I was, you know, I'm functioning on about 2 hours sleep, first of all, because we came through the night, and functioning on 2 hours sleep, and I walked a lot, but I'm actually quite warm right now.
I don't know if you're not.
Yeah, it's taping. I'm live on a podcast. I know, look at you, another cameo, photo bomber.
Ask him if he wants to say hi.
Hey, you want to say hi, Mike? Why don't you tell these guys why you're here and what you're doing?
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, you can. Oh, you can't? Oh, yeah. Well, you're volunteering.
Yes, I'm volunteering my services.
And what made you want to come to the Convoy in the first place?
The last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how long can we do this for? This has to end. So, give us our freedom or give us the other thing. I don't care.
Just
Whatever.
do something.
Do something.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
I know.
You heading back?
I'm just walking around with these guys, and then I'm going to head back. So that was my driver. This guy drives like a pimped out big diesel truck, and I've always admired people who drive pickup trucks, you know, because they're really brave on the highway. This guy like got me here so safely, so quickly. It was the best drive. It was the best car ride ever, and I was in a big truck. I don't know how many blocks this is. I literally, guys, I just wander and I find things. That's what I've been doing.
That's how you find things. You got to
Well,
get out there.
Well, because they've been really, really promoting on the stage, you know, guys, get into those side streets. You know, everybody on Wellington Street's getting lots of love, but don't forget the guys on the side street.
Right. Kellyanne Bethune says this isn't a police issue, it's a political issue. The police should be focusing on keeping the protest peaceful and not being antagonistic. The police chief is putting his officers in a terrible spot. It's irresponsible. Their job is to keep things calm and safe, not to escalate them. What do you think, Carla?
I couldn't agree with that statement more. I mean, and you can see it on their faces. I mean, from what their faces you can see, but they don't want to escalate this. They have been in this protest for the last, 10, 11, 12 days, however many days it's been. And they've seen nothing. They've seen the very things that I'm seeing, that I'm showing people. They don't want to antagonize it. They don't want to cause, you know, they don't want to, they want to just keep it the way it is and hope for the best that it ends. They're not looking to escalate anything.
Yeah. It's not the officers on the ground. It's the senior administration and the politicians and the bureaucrats.
Well, isn't that the way it is in almost every business?
Well, we've all had bosses that were garbage. And how well did any of us ever work under a boss who would yell at you all the time and breathe down your neck all the time? You can't work well with that. It gets you all wound up. It gets you all anxious. You get those negative emotions running. You're bound to fail if that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I could just imagine what they're talking about in the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a convenience store. Huh.
And, you know, in the beginning of this...
Hold the line for me.
Sure. No problem. We got you. So, you know, in the beginning, businesses were being told to stay closed by the mayor and council, and now we're seeing a shift, right? So some of them are
We're
opening.
seeing them little by little opening up. I mean, how much more can these businesses take? Open, close, open, close, open, close, 50%. Now you can only have 50% and then possibly 50% of the 50%. You know what I mean? So it's like 25% of your people in your restaurant, like, and in your businesses. This is crazy. They can't do this.
And what a huge opportunity for them to recoup some of their losses when you have all of these people down there.
Right. Exactly. Like, this is money, really.
Yeah.
And the people here are so generous. They want to spend. I mean, they're throwing, like, they're picking up a coffee at a place and donating. They're throwing $20. I am live.
You're live?
I am live.
No, everybody's live tonight. Okay, I'm Jacob.
Hey, Jacob, let's see what this guy has to say.
Trying to get the word out right now. I just uploaded this video to. Okay, actually, I should show you this first.
You guys see Jacob?
Hi, I'm Jacob Varellen.
Hey,
And,
how are you?
I just talked to CBC about an hour ago. They were not live, and I called them out on it. I did not want to do an interview with them. They wanted to talk to me about child aid, okay? Because they want to bring in child protective services because they're worried about the welfare of the children here. At the world's most peaceful, most beautiful protest in the world. Like, honestly, this is people who didn't bring their kids go home to get their kids because of how beautiful this is, right? And they're protecting their children. They are their children's. They're the parents. So what is going on here, right?
Are you hearing this okay, Rick?
Yes, we can hear it.
I want to give you just a little bit of information.
This is important. This is breaking news, guys.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. What's going on here? I don't know. My mom just gave me something that I can't find. Dad, bring up that piece of paper, that document.
Okay, so Rick, this might be answering your question. Remember, we were discussing if the police came and these kids, we were like, what is going to happen with the kids?
Yes.
Could that also be while Child Protective Services is coming?
Yeah, so they're trying
to arrest the parents. Someone's got to have the kids.
Yeah,
because you got to protect them from the cops.
Right? We have our constitutional rights. We have the right to due process. We have the right to not be arbitrarily detained. We have the right to life, liberty, and security of the person. These are all this is all the stuff that we should know as people, right? So, this is my YouTube channel. I don't know if this is working. Little V Man, okay. Ottawa Truth and CBC censorship call out to Trudeau. All right. There's several people who recorded this stuff live. That's why I spoke to them, and I called out. I said a lot of things. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that needs to be said. Go watch the video because it needs to be spread. Okay,
so let's get the Coles notes. So what happened? They basically were telling you about Child Protective Services coming because they don't feel that the kids are safe.
Yeah, no, and and if the enforcement, if the police escalate their enforcement, which there's no need for that. I've talked to all the cops here. There's been no incidences. They love it. They think it's peaceful. There's a homicide detective that was down here. He's like, I'm wasting my fucking time here. I need to go back and actually do my job where there's 17 murders every day. The crime rate in Ottawa is next to nothing now.
It's down 50%.
We clean the streets. We salt the roads. We do everything here, right? To make sure everybody's safe. And there's just so much love and connection. And this is beautiful.
I've been here the whole time. It's been amazing.
This is beautiful, right? So I was at a meeting with the lawyers. Okay, I got brought up there because I got assaulted by the supervisor of the Ottawa police. Okay, I believe his name was Beno Rice, I believe. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's how I got up there, right? The lawyer up there completely he watched the video. He watched another guy's video who also got assaulted that I knew. And he watched the video and gave us our phones back. Okay, he didn't do anything about it. Then they proceeded to tell us that we needed to get moving and slow roll because we're in a mouse trap. Okay, I'm not even supposed to say this stuff, but they told me not to say this, and this is how I feel about it. Then they said when the CBs and the phones go black, right, go out because they're planning on shutting us down to meet up at an address outside of town at a farmer's place. Okay, to everybody just leave Ottawa and go to this place, right? That's what they want us to do. They wanted to leave all the trucks on Wellington, but everybody else they want to leave. Okay, they're trying to split us up, and they're trying to do what they did to the Jews. They're trying to get us to willingly walk into the gas chamber. There's no fucking way I'm going to that address. Okay, we need to come right here. This is ground zero. I'm sitting on Kent between Laurier and Slater. When these phones go black, everybody needs to come here. Okay, we're stronger together than we ever will be apart. We have to come here. This is ground zero.
All right. Thank you.
That's my message.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, and then this is what Trudeau apparently sent today. I'll just read it out.
Yeah, just read it.
Okay, so it says, on behalf of Government of Canada, I would like to extend an offer to meet with the protesters of the Ottawa Convoy conditionally. Over the past 2 years, we have all endured hardships, particularly our most vulnerable residents. While my position is dictated by hardworking scientists and doctors of Public Health Canada, who are corrupt, clearly, I wish to engage in meaningful dialogue in the spirit of Canadians coming together. Why is the freaking Sentinel flame out? Why is the flame of unity out?
Been asking that every day since it's been out.
Yeah. I would like to encourage vaccinations while respecting the rights of all Canadians. Okay? Remember that. Remember he said that. Okay? To that end, I will meet with both organizers and participants of the protests of the nation's capital for a sum of the time no more than the summation of 5 minutes per trucker in the Ottawa Convoy that get vaccination after February 8th, 2 minutes per trucker that can show proof of vaccination received prior to February 8th, and 1 minute per convoy participant that can show proof of vaccination prior to February 8th. Again, he said up there, I would like to encourage vaccinations while it's respecting the rights of all Canadians. As you know, to respect our rights means to
give us choice.
Yeah, give us choice. The Nuremberg Code, right? The right to informed consent. The right to speak with your doctor and consult with them whether or not this is good or bad for us, whether or not to make that choice for yourself of informed consent on all the side effects and everything that is incorporated in taking said vaccine, which is really gene therapy, as we know. Okay, and we have not been informed. We have not been informed all everything that is going on here. We didn't even know about the myocarditis until after the trials went on. There's so much we don't know and that hasn't been exposed to the public, and it's nonsense. Okay?
So where can we find this note?
Yeah,
the
where
delegates that wish to attend may confirm by either email or office. Blah 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 blah.
But where did you get this from?
Okay. Yeah.
Your wife sent it.
Yeah,
Where did she get it? Do you know?
this
Like it was
is-
online?
Hold on. This is how do I do
Because
this?
we want to try and
This
get the
is
link.
Ottawa Convoy Protesters, Office of the Prime Minister.
Right. No, I was just wondering like where the link came from,
Yeah, I'm
like
not
the
sure.
source.
I'll have to.
That's okay. We'll find it. Listen, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just
Thank you
trying
for
to
that
get this
info.
information out
Well,
there.
it's out
Watch-
there. Lots of
watch
viewers
that.
on this podcast.
Yeah, watch that video. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
We
I'll be
got
back
this.
to see
Thank
you. Oh,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
the hug.
much.
All right, take it easy, guys. All right, so there you go.
Well,
That was a lot of information.
All that information we have to confirm.
Yeah.
I don't know what's accurate, what isn't. And anyone that he accused of a crime, we have no information on that at this point other than what he has said. So we certainly don't want to have anyone unlawfully, improperly accused of a crime here. So
No.
Yeah.
I was also on his Twitter page. Absolute silence on there. Says he talked to the mayor of Ottawa today and he has his back and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so guys, that's the kind of thing. Like we run into this stuff all the time, and the same thing's happening out on Facebook. So you have to really, really use a little bit of intuition, a little bit of skepticism. You have to see the source. You need to see where it's coming from, right? You have to have that skepticism because, I mean,
I do know that there is a designated negotiator that is supposed to come in and talk to these guys sometime tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, we don't have a lot of other details about how that is supposed to go down. And I would warn all of them about it.
Yeah.
And you had interesting words about that yesterday, Rick Walker. It's like when the FBI sends in a negotiator, they don't do it to help anybody. They do it to stall, and they do it to go in and sweep things out.
They sweeten it. They sweeten a bad deal. That's what they do.
Yeah. If you have someone that you think is a terrorist, or you have some guy holed up in a house with a gun, and it's a standoff with cops, when they're negotiating with the guy, they don't really want to give the guy what he wants. They're just trying to find a way get in there and end the thing.
Well,
And,
it's manipulation, right? They manipulate them into thinking they're getting what they want, but they're not.
that's right.
And that's the thing. It just fits right in with the psychological war we've been in.
Yep. You know,
But
that-
yeah, so I didn't know that guy was going to go into all that. So I apologize for that, guy. So anyone who's watching, please, always check the sources.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know how much of that is true and how much isn't. And,
Well, I saw a picture there. I saw the picture on the phone, and it looked like a printed letter. And what the
Yeah,
hell
but
kind of what the hell kind of negotiation or discussion with the Prime Minister is like, I will allow it 5 minutes per whatever.
Well, that sounded like a policy. It read very much like the policy we had at work. If you're vaccinated by this date, you get this. If you're vaccinated by that date, you know what I mean? It's I think it's a fake, guys. My spidey sense says it's a fake. Sorry.
yeah, because I haven't heard anything else about it. But,
No. So
and I have been searching here as well, and I haven't been able to find any confirmation of it.
Yeah, I was on his Twitter. I'm on the Office of the Prime Minister's website. I see no such letter.
So
Yeah.
there has to be something out there that's going to trace things back. Now, when he said about the Child Protective Services, that could be speculation because Rick and I were just talking about that. What's
Yes.
going to happen to the kids? So, and that's logic, right?
And I have heard people say, and I've seen comments from people saying they're not going to bring their kids down there this weekend because they're afraid the cops are going to come. And
Yeah.
and there's the irony, right? It's like they're not. You think about that. The people who have been coming down there, they're not afraid of the truckers or the farmers or the protest.
Afraid of
They're
the police,
afraid of the police.
who are hired to serve and protect us. Isn't
Yeah.
that disgusting?
So right there, it tells you something is wrong, right? Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Now,
Big time.
yeah.
It is. It's scary. And the piece where he said, you know, that Justin Trudeau or that the mayor said they want us to all go out to a certain area. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, that's not even. There's no way he said that.
And I was joking about the kids thing, if you remember, back on the weekend when the bounty castles were there.
Yeah.
And
well,
I said it'd be funny to see, you know, it's comical to think of the cops chasing these little ankle biters around with a net, right? And they can't catch them because they're bouncing in the bouncy castle and the ball
like
pit.
a cat and a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, honestly, the cops don't stand a chance if they have to try and catch those kids.
No.
No.
They don't stand a chance.
No.
That would be the worst PR disaster in Canadian policing history, I would say.
100%. I don't know how this is going to play out, guys. So after speaking with that guy, because you saw he pulled me aside. That's the danger of doing going around live, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still feel the same way. I feel I'm just going minute by minute, watching my back, looking around, being careful, watching for signs. I'm going to look for an influx in police officers. I mean, if I suddenly see a ton of cops, you know, hanging out on these streets and it's just full of police, I know something's going down. I'm probably going to go to my hotel room, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to run there.
No.
I'm not running to a farmer's field.
No.
I'm going to go to my hotel room and look like a visitor.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm really into fighting for this, but I'm also not stupid.
No.
Right?
No, it's not worth a lifelong injury where, I mean,
No.
even if you get physiotherapy or something, it could be something that's lifelong. Like, I mean, I broke my collarbone when I was a kid skateboarding, and it's something that follows me for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah, like you don't want to live with that, but
it's not worth it.
No. And I did mention that I got offered a job and this guy is only hiring. It's a nursing job. And the doctor that wants to hire me, he only wants nurses that stand for medical freedom. He said, he's still in Ottawa. I said, I don't know. I might get arrested though. Is that going to affect my job? He said, it gives you a raise. It secures your job if I get arrested. So I don't want a job that bad. I don't need the raise.
That's an important thing to remember too. yeah, it's scary to lose your job. But when
Mhm.
one door closes, sometimes another one opens,
Mhm.
and there is an entire parallel society and economy beginning to form.
It
And there,
is.
so there will be jobs over there.
Well, and the one thing that I was thinking, I mean, there's been speculation about camps and like COVID camps and all of these things, for the unvaccinated, yada yada yada, um, since for months, maybe even a year. And I thought, if I was here and I somehow got caught up and they rounded me up to a place like that, and they just wanted us to live in this camp, these are people I could live with. I would like this society. If we ever had to go underground as a society, the people that I've been spending the last, 10 days with are people that I would want in my community. So that's how terrible it is here.
Yes. Well, there is.
I'd rather live in that community.
Yeah. Well, I think you're aware there is an underground society or economy forming of sorts, right?
You see it right here. Like, look they've got, we can't go to restaurants. They make their own. We can't go to bars on the weekend. They had dance parties. You can't go to these like big kid places that have the jumping castles. We bring it here. I mean, resourceful, generous, and unified.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're still inspiring us and keeping us on a positive track. Your optimism, honestly, is infectious, and that's why everybody in the comments too. They're just they love you, and I can see why.
Well, I think the only way we can go around and continue as we have for the last 2 years, saying that life is over as we know it, that we're not free, that we've lost all of our freedoms, that we're prisoners to Justin Trudeau, or we can decide that we are free and that we've won the battle, and kind of fake it till you make it, so to speak, but be confident in it. I walk around like I'm a free human being, and the more I do it, the freer I feel.
Yeah.
I've lived more during the pandemic than I have my entire life, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've been incredibly depressed, honestly.
Oh, I was there. Trust me, Rick. 30 days on the couch, man. My husband said to me, "When are you going to wash your hair?" I said, "Hey, I'm showering my body." He goes, "But your hair." I mean, are you going to leave the couch today? I mean, so I get it.
It's not that I haven't experienced depression through all this. It's just that, I don't know. I've done more. I've seen more, and I've lived more.
Good.
I understand that, and we did get involved in a lot of things, and even this right now, like Brenden and I, we talked about it, and we said, we feel like we have to do something, right? Mm-hmm. We can't go here, we can't go there, but we can do this thing online, and just try to help everybody get the message out, right? So that people get truth,
right?
Get not just this propaganda that everybody's being subjected to. So that's why we're here, and it is fulfilling.
Well, it gives you purpose. Like I like I said, I started on Friday just putting out a live saying, I need everybody to see this. Everyone needs to feel the way I feel. They need to see it with their own eyes. To now, it's given me a purpose. It's given me something new again, and I love it. Like I love being able to share that with people. Just taking, and all I really do is do what I did here. I just take people for walks.
And are you seeing more people coming up there because they are calling on folks to come and provide reinforcements? Yeah,
absolutely. Like even my Facebook was blowing up with, I just made reservations, I'm coming. I have to stay 20 minutes outside of the city, but I'm coming. Yeah, like I think this weekend probably bigger than ever. So seriously, if the police are going to act, better do it earlier rather than later.
Right. And what about hotel bookings? A lot of it's still hard. They're making it hard to book downtown, right?
Yeah, like they are. And so on the story of the Delta, I did speak to one of the people who work downtown in the hospitality business. So I did ask them about the Delta. They couldn't confirm or deny whether or not the Delta had actually booked all their rooms to the government. However, they said that one of the premiers, a Liberal premier, his family owns that Delta. I'll just leave you with that. Speculate if you will. Speculate if you will. Yeah. No proof, right?
Well, we've seen reports. We have video of empty parking garages. We know what's going on. The government is booking these rooms to prevent people from coming down there and staying downtown and near the Parliament buildings because they want the numbers down so they can execute these arrests if they choose to do that.
Right. I've been staying at the Alt. It's 3 to 4 blocks from Wellington Street. It's on Slater. They have been nothing. What am I doing here? They've been nothing but kind to me and to all the people that have stayed here. I did hear them talking on the phone today. They have, I think, something like 15. This was this afternoon. They had like 15 rooms left for this weekend. So they were single rooms, though. And most people are looking for doubles because they're coming in groups, right?
Yes, yes.
So, and they've been very kind to us. We don't have to wear, like, they don't ask anyone about masks. They treat us very well.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad that I have to say that? Like, this is a business where typically it would be expected that when I go into a business that I'm treated well because they want my business.
Yes.
But now that this has happened, I go into places and all I'm doing is bragging that, wow, they treat us like a human. Like it's a shocker. Like what have we become?
I don't know, man, but we got to get back to where we were.
I don't think we need to get back to where we were. I think we need to get back our form of build back better. Okay. So like we need to take this movement forward. That be the new norm.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the way that you're just able to talk to people, the way that you just have genuine love and concern for people, that was missing even pre-COVID. I think that there's a renewal happening down here where people are waking up to the fact that, you know what, we need to literally love one another. It has changed people. It is doing so much for mental health.
And as we heard the Premier of Saskatchewan say today, Scott Moe, he said, we have to begin to forgive one another, forgive our families, and maybe even forgive ourselves. Because, let's face it, this pandemic and what Justin Trudeau has done, his rhetoric, it's really brought the worst out in a lot of people. And a lot of people have said some pretty terrible things and done some pretty terrible things to other humans. And
families too. Like there's been a real destruction in the family unit, right?
Yep.
In so many families, like even in my own family, my brother and my sister, my brother, he doesn't really speak to me. He was pretty upset that I was willing to sacrifice my nursing career. He thought I had a duty to protect, and that meant being vaccinated. He didn't understand, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have a sister who's quite immunocompromised who refused to see me, who refuses to spend any time with me indoor or outdoor. So, and my other sister, she's vaccinated and never, was never afraid to be around me, but didn't necessarily agree. But now she's been watching what's going on in the convoy and she's wide awake to it. I mean, she was pretty awake before. I just hope my sister can get the freedom to not wear a mask because she lives in London and man, it's bad there. They wear them walking down the street, driving in their cars alone.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know. I go up there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, London.
And they wear gloves, surgical gloves, in their car by themselves.
Yeah.
Then they get it all over their steering wheels, stuff like that.
Fear, though. Fear is quite the thing, right?
It's powerful.
That's why I say choose love over fear.
Absolutely. And
Every
freedom
day.
over fear.
Freedom over fear.
And you know what? The government scared us for so long that they forgot that along with the flight is the opposite, which is fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean be violent or anything, but I mean stand your ground. Like that is one of the things that's happened, and there's been lots of people since the beginning who have stood their ground and said, no, what we're doing is wrong. Myself and Rick included, and yourself too. Like, we're not new to this party here, and we've been calling it from the beginning, and now it's like, I'm so glad that we've stood our ground.
And I think when you said, fight, that's what's going on here. These truckers aren't backing down.
Absolutely.
They're talking that, if the police come to arrest them, they're just going to lock their doors. Sit there. So.
Yeah, I think the cops really have a dilemma on their hands if they go down there and start to try to mass arrest people because of that, and then they have to figure out, well, who am I arresting? Am I arresting that lady who's walking down the street over there? It might just be some lady out of her apartment, right? Going to the corner store, or just because you're in the vicinity, they're just going to arrest you.
Yeah, they don't. They can't. And that was the question that I had thought of earlier. I'm like, okay, so if they come down here, now that today I was saying that I'm seeing more Ottawa residents, just locals, downtown, people who live downtown are kind of on the streets more. It's like they've lost that fear, or perhaps they're just sick and tired of being afraid and they want their city back. So they're like, forget it. I got to get on with my life, business as usual. What about those people? If they're walking around, what if they get caught in the, in the scoop up, so to speak, in the gathering? How is the mayor going to answer to that? How is the police chief going to answer to that?
I mean, even yourself, you're just down there shooting video. You're not causing any problems. You're not doing anything illegal. You've booked a hotel room. You're in town. You're visiting. Okay, you're down there with the protesters, but
maybe I'm just nosy.
There's nothing illegal. That's right. There's nothing illegal about what you're doing. You're practicing journalism, and that's 100% legal. You have every right to be there.
I know.
So what are they going to do? I mean, that they would have to declare a certain area a no-go zone, and then anyone caught in there would be subject to fines and arrest, I guess. I mean, they keep making up these stupid laws anyways. They go along. So, but it's a dilemma, and it just shows too how this whole thing is so misguided on the behalf of the government, because they're targeting the wrong people. They're targeting their own citizens.
Yeah, tax-paying citizens.
I've said it before. We've had the war on drugs. We've had the war on terror. Based off of everything we've been seeing in the United States and Canada since Joe Biden has been put in place, is a war on the people.
At least certain portions of the people, yeah. And this seems like it's a war on the working class in some way. Maybe some other segments of the society too.
You look at the schools, right? Like, especially in the U.S., they had the Department of Justice in the United States. They were going to start using the what was it called? The Patriot Act against parents and stuff like that. Like, this is absolutely terrifying. And Canada has been doing the same thing in their playbooks.
Yes.
I think the scariest thing is that this is worldwide, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I think his name is Neil Oliver. He's on Great Britain News. And he says, we've seen President Macron of France say we're going to make the life for the unvaccinated very hard. We see Justin Trudeau making similar statement. Joe Biden making similar statement. And these are all World Economic Forum people. It's like, when there's a legitimate pattern there, that's why you have the expression, if it smells like shit and it looks like shit, it is shit.
Well, there's no question this whole thing is a campaign, right? It's a plan, and it's a template. You're seeing it in country after country after country. Even the use of the phrase "build back better." Oh. It's a campaign. It's like an advertising slogan. And they're using it in countries all over the world. So tell me that's a coincidence? No, that's
it's
a
not
campaign.
A coincidence.
Not at all.
Especially with how much it was discussed. How much it was discussed in both of our elections that we just had.
Yeah.
There's a video circulating where it's got all the different world leaders, one after the other, and it's just clips of them saying "Build back better, build back better." And elitist as well, like where it's got, I don't know Fauci, but it definitely had Gates saying it, build back better.
Yeah.
That's like nails on a chalkboard to me, to be honest, build back better.
Yeah. It's not even a good slogan.
No, it's not.
Well, no.
It's not like plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
That was a moneymaker.
Yes, sir. Now there's an ad campaign.
Also, it implies that everything is destroyed and broken and that they need to build it back again.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't broken in 2019. It was fine. Well, I mean, it could have been better, but
it needed tweaking.
Yeah.
Tweak back better. I don't know. I don't know. It's tweak it up a little. I don't know.
That sounds like a slogan for methamphetamine. Tweak back better.
I know. It's funny when I said that. The first thing I thought of was a meth addict walking down the street. And in nursing, I saw lots. So.
Yeah. Well, it's they've been tearing everything down. They've been destroying everything. They say they want to build back better, but they've been blowing everything up in between. Destroying all these small businesses, destroying people's lives, taking people's jobs away. Come on, man. Really, and dividing people, ripping people apart. And then now they want to build back better. I don't think I want the people who tore everything down to be the ones who tell us how they're going to build it back better.
Well, they don't even have a plan to build it back better. They want to tear it down. And that's it.
They don't want
bring
to build
us
it
to
back
our
better.
knees.
Yes, not for us, maybe for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
guys,
just to round up how I'm feeling, just and the vibe that I'm getting, it's still that same. People are being kind. People are showing love. There are people like the guy we saw on the street who are really fearful or, kind of looking. I mean, I think we're all looking to see what's happening, but I'm just going to go through this and just believe that, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going to watch my back. I'm going to look around. I'm going to continue to ask questions. And when I see a lot of police roll in, I'm going to take appropriate action, right? I'm going to make sure that I maintain my composure if I am approached, and I'll give them what they want. I'll show them my ID and I'll be polite to them because, only a guilty person lives in fear of something like that. If the police come, if you're driving your car and you're doing 30 kilometers over the speed limit and they come in behind you, even if their lights aren't on, you're terrified because you're doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm a Canadian citizen walking in my capital, looking around, seeing things, and I am protesting and standing up for my rights. I'm not wrong.
And you're being stalked even as we speak.
I know. I can't help it. If there's freaks in this place, I do find them. The crazy ones.
Well, Carla, thank you.
Here in less than 6 hours.
Thank you again for everything tonight. I think it's really important what you've done. People they really want to know what's going on down there. A lot of people, and
they do.
And you just showed them without all the BS that we're getting from, our CTV, CBC, Globe, the newspapers, Toronto Star, all of them.
See it for yourself. That's why I take people for a walk. See it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Make your own assessment.
Yes.
Right. Thank you. And whatever happens, stay safe.
I will.
Keep yourself safe.
Well, you see, I've got my buddy Baxter here. He's got my back. That's why his name's Baxter. I'm good.
Okay.
Good
I'm
one.
good. Just till Big Law gets here. Big Law's coming in a couple of days. I'll be fine. Big Law's my husband. He's a paralegal. That's why I call him Big Law. It's a nickname. He loves me. All right, guys.
Carla.
Thank you again. I missed you guys, so I was really happy and excited when Brenden messaged me and asked me to come on tonight. So
yeah, of course.
All right. If anything exciting happens, you guys will know because I'll be doing them on my lives, and I'll let you guys know too because and if I go black, I don't know where I am. Call Big Law.
Okay.
Call Big Law.
All right, guys.
Gotcha.
Call
Big
care.
Law.
Have a great night.
All
Bye,
the best.
guys.
Stay safe.
Yes, you guys too. Take it easy.
Take it easy. Well, Rick,
There you go. Yeah.
also, I'm out of time at this point, so I think this is a good time to wrap it up anyway. It was a pretty good show. We got to catch up with events. We checked in with what's going on at the Ambassador Bridge. We caught up with Carla. She took us on a tour of Ottawa. So we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that's likely to transpire overnight. I'm sure of it. So, we'll be back because we're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow night. I can feel it in my bones. I feel like this is the calm before some sort of a storm. I just hope that the storm that comes is a positive one and not something that is destructive.
round and round and round she goes. Where it'll stop, nobody knows. But anyway, folks, my name is Brenden Kennedy. I'm the host of the Flow of Discourse podcast. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate doing this.
Yeah. And I'm Rick Walker with Maverick Multimedia and Maverick News. And this has been live coverage in Ottawa. You've been watching Freedom Convoy 2022, cruising to the capital. See you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and ring that bell to get notifications. It really helps us out.